Beach, and sitting here to my right is the chairman of our Budget and Finance Commission, David Goodman. First, I want to really thank all of you for being here this evening. We're here to talk about a very important topic, and probably one of the most important things that we do as a city, and that's prepare a budget. So we really welcome your feedback as we talk a little bit about the budget and some of the issues that we do have. But I'm particularly excited tonight because this is our first, if you will, electronic town hall. Wanted to mention to folks that might be following us out there, just to let you know, if you're on Twitter, you can follow us at RB Budget Talk. And so, again, RB Budget Talk, we're on Twitter right now. Feel free to send us questions and comments on that, as well as you can submit questions and comments directly via email as well to budget@redondo.org. So, again, thank you for being here. This is the reason why we're having this electronic town hall is that I think it's really important that we in government really adapt as well as we can to different styles of communication. And I think many of us know that tools such as Facebook and Twitter and MySpace are really critical communication tools for many individuals out there, and frankly many folks in our community. So this is a pilot program. This is something that we formed that we hope to use in many different fashions in the future as well, in addition to our normal meetings and community meetings out in the community as well. I also want to mention that this is, I'm from a generation that frankly is the end of the baby boomers, and so many of us may not be as familiar with some of these technologies. So again, send us any feedback that you would like about this particular session tonight, and again, we appreciate your comments and involvement very much. So at this time, I'd like to introduce to you, I mentioned him earlier before, our Budget and Finance Commission Chairman, David Goodman. He is just now finishing up his second term on the Budget and Finance Commission. And I also wanted to publicly and personally thank David for adding me as a friend on Facebook. That really meant a lot to me. I am on Facebook. I'm not on Twitter yet.
And your acceptance was important.
Well, thank you. I felt very validated by that, and I appreciate that as well, David. So with that, I will introduce David Goodman for some comments, and I also like to hand over the microphone at this point to our city manager, Bill Workman, who is here tonight as well. So Bill, please come on up and have a seat. Thank you all for being here again. Here you go.
Well, good evening, David, and thank you for joining this evening to talk about the city's budget and talk about all the things that are important about local government finance. Mayor Jin was just sitting in this chair a moment ago. It was on Mayor Jin's initiative that we put together this program using some of those new techniques that my daughters seem to know all about, and I'm just learning to use them this evening. This evening we're going to be talking to you directly, electronically. We do have a live audience here. The live audience can provide questions to our staff assistants here this evening. Before we go much further, I'd like David to sort of talk a little bit about what the role of the Budget and Finance Commission is. David?
Thanks, Bill. As the mayor mentioned, the budget is an incredibly important part of running the city. It's not always tremendously exciting, but it's very important. So the Budget and Finance Commission is really charged through the City Council with reviewing the budget, reviewing the budget process, reviewing revenues, expenses, methods of dealing with those, and making recommendations to the council. That's the official charter. I think almost the most important, more important aspect is I think the commission serves as a sounding board, particularly to the city manager when he's preparing the budget and if he has particular issues. The commission typically is represented by citizens, usually with some sort of a private sector background. So I think that lets us bring a little different perspective to the budget process, to city issues. And it also lets us both represent the public, but represent the public in a little more informed fashion. The city budget and the city budget process is very complicated, as are all governmental agencies. So we go through a learning process, but I think it helps us to kind of better understand the issues facing the city, and again give a public perspective with a little more understanding of those issues. So that's basically what we do.
Well, great. Let me take a couple of minutes to talk about the budget process. City of Redondo Beach is a charter city. Means we have our own constitution here locally. And under the charter, the city manager is responsible for preparing a budget for the city council's consideration. That budget's to be delivered to the city council by May 16th of every year. The budget process actually takes about 6 months to go through. In January of each year, we get going on that budget process. Since we're on a fiscal year that runs from July 1st to June 30, that 6-month period of preparation starts in January, when we start looking at revenues and expenditures from the prior year. By that time, we've had our comprehensive financial report completed, and we also start preparing some information regarding our mid-year situation that would reflect onto the coming fiscal year. Those first couple of months, the staff is working on data, and at the same time, we're going to each one of our commissions, for example, the Budget and Finance Commission and the Planning Commission and Parks and Recreation Commission, and asking for their input with regards to the budget, getting them involved with the budget process very early before we start making some preliminary choices. Then secondly, what we do is ask the employees for their feedback, their feet on the ground, hands-on tools every single day of the year, and we get good feedback about what they're hearing from the community, about what they're seeing in the community, particular needs and desires. We also, during that period of time, normally solicit feedback from the public, either through a community survey, or we go through and have focus groups. So we get feedback from the public in that manner. Next, what we do is take that information, prepare some draft documents, and then review it with our Budget and Finance Commission and our Public Works Commission. The Public Works Commission goes through and takes a look at the capital improvement program that we're proposing, those streets that will be resurfaced during the course of the year, tree replacement programs, improvements in the harbor, and drainage, sewer facilities, and so forth. And we get feedback in that process from both of those commissions. We've added this particular forum this evening to get some additional feedback from the public in a more organized manner, and again using some new techniques. Let me remind everybody that to be able to participate electronically, you can either text or email us with your questions to budget@redondo.org, or you can actually phone in as well. It's 310-937-6675. That's 310-937-6675. That way that you can get your questions into our staff assistants, and they'll prompt them up here on the screen. After tonight, we'll be completing our final